Yeah, hi Kiran. I'm
Just,
audible?
just a second. Yeah, you're audible, Bhushan. Just a minute. जीजू timer का set हो गया? Is timer वाला thing set?
Yes, Kiran, I am joining from my laptop. Give me
Yes, yes.
just 1 minute. I am taking a note of it.
ठीक है. So I'll take care of this now. So Bhushan, your time starts now. You can go ahead.
Okay. Hi everyone, myself Bhushan. And today I will talk about we follow some books in our book club. So why we do follow those books only? So because in market there is a lack of books, okay, and there is no lack. There is lot of information, but problem is there is a right kind of information, okay. So our mentor Vijay, as Kiran told, he has a lots of experience, and through their his own experience of life and his coaching and mentoring more than 5,000 people. Based on that, he and Johnson also suggested 4 books which we follow in our book club. So first is the Think and Go Rich. That is the amazing book. This book will give you uh, what we want from our life. Uh, it took 20 years to Napoleon Hill to write this book, and he made so many millionaires and billionaires. So, and after read these books, I understood what is the desire and what is the burning desire. And one story of Dr. Bernard Shaw, who was an ordinary person. He wanted to work as a partner of the Thomas Alva Edison and did whatever it was required. So this book will give you blueprint of your life, what you want and where are you right now, and what you should do, what you want to achieve for that. Second thing is Magic of Thinking Big. This book is amazing, pretty book. It will give you, there is kind of topics like believing and destroy the fears. There is a 5 to 6 chapter which will, आप जब पढ़ोगे उसको तो लगेगा कि यार मैं अपने से बात कर रहा हूँ. Third book is the What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And ये book, after read the Think and Go Rich, all right, आपको अपना blueprint मिल गया. But what till that book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, होता क्या है कि since childhood we program through our society, our education system, our parents and our parents, and slowly we started believing and started living those belief system, and we think only we can achieve where we are or what we achieve based on our programming. This book, but the success, how successful person are thinking and how we can reprogram to achieve more and where we are and beyond. Okay, so this book, आप जब इस बुक को पढ़ोगे तो आपको लगेगा कि ये मेरे साथ ही हो रहा था, और मैं यदि मुझे कुछ और भी डिफरेंट करना है तो कैसे मैं इसको अब रिप्रोग्राम कर सकता हूँ अपने आप को. तो ये बुक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट बुक है. एंड फोर्थ बुक इज द रिच डैड एंड पुअर डैड. हम सब लोग बहुत जॉब, बहुत से डिग्री और जॉब के लिए पढ़ाई करते हैं. सो मेनी बुक्स हम लोग पढ़ते हैं, राइट, आफ्टर दैट. लेकिन एंड वी डिड वी हम लोग जब डिग्री के लिए पढ़ते हैं, अचीव करते हैं डिग्री, एंड वी आर हियर फॉर ओनली फॉर द मनी. बट हमें कोई ये नहीं बताता कि व्हाट इज द फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम, फाइनेंशियल एजुकेशन. क्योंकि फॉर्चुनेटली or unfortunately we all belong from the middle class family, so that we don't know actually how the millionaire and billionaire thinking, how their education system, financial education is. Okay, so ये बहुत ही story of Robert Kiyosaki, and वो fortunately he got engaged with one of his rich dad, and slowly he got the education how the successful person thinking and how was middle person are thinking, and he become the millionaire and billionaire. So it is not a theoretical, it is the practical. Okay, one ordinary child become the millionaire, a successful person. So this book, ये book आपको आपके financial एक फाइनेंशियल जो डायरेक्शन देता है, राइट, व्हाट वी वांट एंड वेयर वी आर एंड व्हाट वी शुड डू फॉर आवर फाइनेंशियल. So just I want to summary First is the Think and Go Rich. It will give you blueprint of life. Second is the magic of thinking big. Third thing is the what to say, talk to yourself, how we can reprogram ourselves to achieve more and beyond. And fourth thing is the Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So very, very important. We all are here for money. And this book, once you read this book, you will get the right kind of financial education to the practical, not a theoretical. So that's what I wanted to share. So why I said, because so many people are asking why we do follow these books only. These books are very, very important and fundamental, important for the fundamental growth of life. Once you read these 4 books, 100% it will change your life. Thank you very much, Kiran.
Amazing, amazing, Bhushan. Again, the energy which you share, definitely बहुत लोग तो छुट्टी ले लेंगे भाई पढ़ने के लिए. In fact, 3 years back when Vijay promoted me, it was so interesting. Vijay ने बोला, किरण अगर तुमने ये बुक नहीं पढ़ा ना, तुम्हारा 10 साल बर्बाद हो जाएगा. मैंने बोला यार चलो, अगर इतना ही ज़्यादा high stakes है कि why should I take risk? Let me take 1 or 2 day holiday and just finish it off. And you won't believe it, but even the moment I took one book, I think I took the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. The moment I started reading it, I felt कि मेरी लाइफ की बचपन के स्टोरी से लेकर आज तक जो भी हुआ सब मेरे उसने बता दिया ना, बिना कुछ जाने मेरे बारे में. And that too, all the financial truth of life. That was simply mind-blowing. And the kind of conspiracy Think and Go Rich has, and the book like How to Win Friends and Influence People, if you can master those kind of principles, I think your life will be much simpler to lead than not knowing the knowledge itself. Now you have no excuse. I think all of you have no excuse left कि मुझे ये पता नहीं था. Thank you so much, Bhushan, for sharing your talk. It was very important for all of us. Cool. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Shiva, I think Shiva, you can go ahead. I'll spotlight you. Shiva, if you can hear me.
Kiran, I can hear you because see, there's a bandwidth connection. I cannot turn the video.
No issues.
That will be fluctuating.
Yeah.
Today, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Shiva Kumar. I'm from Bangalore, and today I'll be going through that second chapter of Rich Dad and Poor Dad. In that, why teach financial literacy? In that, I'll be going through that. So when someone buys a home, thinking that it's an asset. See, when we purchase a home, people they don't think that they'll invest their in that property. And see, for a normal salary person, it's like for salary person, income is like a salary, and they'll think that when we get a salary, they doesn't save any money, and they'll be thinking of we have to purchase something like our dream home, and they'll be having some sort of money with them, like and they'll invest in that property. And what they'll do, they'll invest and they go for a loan, and they purchase the home, and they'll start paying the EMI. After paying that EMI every month from the salary whatever they're getting, and again what they'll do after they purchase the home and they get into that, and after that they'll think that getting a dream home is we have finalized our home and our dream is being achieved. And after that, what they'll think that after achieving their dream, they'll go for that. They'll do all the interiors, other things and all, and they'll purchase a car and whatever they want, they'll do everything to their home. And but whatever they'll be like spending from whatever the salary they're earning, and they doesn't match the cash flow. They'll think that we are earning and we can spend and all. And fortunately, what they'll do whenever they are paying the EMIs, those all. First they'll pay the EMI, and after that they'll purchase a car and they'll purchase furniture, all through EMIs. But whenever they doesn't analyze, and they doesn't make any different statement at all. And finally, what they'll end up with like a rat race, and like a rat race. And if you put that clearly the cash flow, and after that whatever they're earning, it's like all they're spending through that, like mortgage loan, liability, like credit cards and car loans and some education loans, whatever they're having. They are not spending anything from whatever they're earning, and they think that their home is their asset, but they'll not analyze what is that. They'll be spending. They never keep any amount saved. Like they'll be having only that when they purchase home. They doesn't think that when you purchase home you have to pay the EMI. After EMI, then it's like a tax, and after tax and other things and all, they have to pay. And example, I can give that in the chapter only, they have taken this one, like young couple, that Robert Kiyosaki has taken an example of young couple, the married young couple. They have what they both are earning, and when after they both are earning, they think that they can go for a dream home. They'll invest in that property, and after that they'll purchase all that whatever like furniture, car, dream home and all. And that they doesn't know that array we are getting a both are earning, we can spend, we can purchase a house and all, but they doesn't analyze that whatever they're earning, they are not saving, they are putting under liability this one. They are in, all invested in that house, this one and all. They are not saving anything, and finally they think that whatever they have invested, it's an asset, but they are not. It's not an asset, but whatever we are paying, if we are taking that any property through loans, we doesn't realize, hurry, if we are taking property through loan, they think that it's an asset, but unfortunately, it's not an asset. We should think that it's entirely a liability. Whatever we take, and finally, we have to, after purchasing out, we doesn't think that we have to pay property tax, maintenance charges, those things and all. It's like a burden, and it's like a liability to each and every this one. And people think that it's like a asset. Example, I can tell that my wife, she was also telling that, why you are earning, you can go for a home. By reading this chapter, I realized that I cannot take burden on myself because I can invest in a property. But unfortunately, when I started reading this, I analyzed that going for a purchasing a home, it's very difficult. At least you should save some money, and after saving money, you can purchase the property. And I told my wife that this is how in this chapter realizes that, and after that I made her understood that if whatever we are buying, it's not an asset to us. We are paying EMI, and after paying the EMI, it's like a burden to us, like taxes, other things and all. And she realized that whatever, at least we can save some money, and future we can plan. Like that, I learned from this lesson.
Amazing. Amazing, Shiva. It's truly amazing. The best part I loved it is that what you applied in your real life. That is a game changer. Because most of the time, what we think it is an asset is actually not an asset, it is a liability. This is where it is very difficult to understand. Simple message, very powerful. Wonderful sharing, Shiva. And again, definitely, if you really want to see the exact cash flow of your home EMI or anything, just open the book. The book already shows your own cash flow, and you'll see what.
Surely. After that only, I realized my wife, every time she was telling the same story, that at least you can purchase some home. After reading this book, each and every time whatever she tells, I'll be explaining all the topics to her. Now she realized that.
Awesome. Great sharing, Shiva. Thank you so much for sharing. Wonderful. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. Girija Jiju, you'll go next, yeah? Can you speak next?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep your timer. Okay?
Yeah. So when I name few actors like Abhishek Bachchan or politician like think of Rahul Gandhi or Abhishek Bachchan. So what we think? They are the kid of successful actor, successful politician, but they themselves are not successful. So we have a wrong mindset about success. We think that success comes from networking. So we network for it. But we need to have something on yourself, on your plate in the first place before getting success. We have many other misconceptions about success. Let me list them out. We think that success is mystical, so we search for it. Imagine somebody winning gold medal in Olympics just by a few weeks of practice. Is it possible? No. Every company, every brand, every career that has been built has been through hard work of step by step, inch by inch progress over many weeks, years of time. It's not about just few weeks of effort. And most of us think that success is impossible, so we criticize it. Life in general is difficult, but many times we expect life to be easy. So whenever any difficulty comes, we just cannot believe ourselves that okay, how it can happen to us. So we criticize it. Some of us believe that success comes from luck, so we hope for it. So hoping for success from luck is just like hoping for a lottery, whose chance is like 1 out of 50 million. Do you want to believe that success comes from luck? Okay. Some of us believe that success comes from productivity, so we work for it. Hard work is good. If if one is not working hard, he will not get success. But by working hard only, expecting success from out of it is just like one dimensional success. There are many other things apart from working hard. So we need to see the holistic picture, and we should not rely only on working hard or productivity of oneself. And many of us believe that success comes from opportunity, so we wait for the right opportunity. But waiting for opportunity for success is like too late. For example, if you are planning to give one interview and you are just waiting for the interview call to happen, then only you will prepare, or will you prepare on a daily basis so that whenever the opportunity comes, you'll strike it, right? So opportunity is there to help you, but it will not guarantee you success. So don't wait for an opportunity for a preparation. Some of us believe that success is an event, so we schedule it. Any event we should use as a catalyst for our success, but we should not expect sudden success out of an event. For example, attending a training. After attending a training, you must not think that I will be an expert after attending a training. You should work for towards it. But the only attending a training event should not be make you successful. And so, so these are some of the misconceptions we have about success. Okay. Then if these are the misconceptions, then where does success comes from? Success or growth comes from making decisions, right decision, and following through the decision on a daily basis. Yesterday is gone, last night, tomorrow is unpredictable. So we cannot blame on yesterday or rely on tomorrow. What remains is today. So today matters. So that your daily agenda for today will determine your rate of success. So how to plan your days, how to make your today matter, that will cover in the consecutive sessions. Okay, so this I have taken from the book called Today Matters, written by John Maxwell, which I'll be covering in the next series of sessions in the coming weeks. Thank you very much.
Amazingly shared, Jiju. I think the topic is so powerful and interesting. The book is also interesting. You'll exactly learn 12 daily dozens, which will help you to shape towards your growth. Thank you so much for sharing, Jiju. We'll move to the next speaker, then we'll take an introduction then. Great. So I think Rohit, you can go ahead and we'll take the introduction.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, Rohit, loud and clear.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, so today I'm going to discuss about this topic from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Obviously, this is a really good book, and lots of people have already covered about some topics of this book. So this is a really good book. I would recommend everyone to read it once or twice at least. Okay, so I will be discussing about the lesson 5, that is rich invent money. So how they do it. So let's start from the beginning. So this chapter started with a story about Alexander Graham Bell. So he invented telephone. We all know, right? So his patent was filed, and he was getting lots of response from the people across the border. Like they wanted to have this patent for their company, for their home, all those things. So he was having lots of demand for his patent. So he was not having cash, he was not having money to build all those things and run the company. So he went to Western Union for the financial help and said that I want $100,000 at that time. I, I I want that much of money, and you can buy my company for that, and you can just help me out so that I can respond to the growing demand. So the company chairman laughed at him, and then he said he make fun of him, like it's too much for the patent. I mean, I cannot give this much. So he came back and he thought, what should I do? And rest we all know, right? What happened? This is that the event gave birth to AT&T, that multi-billion-dollar company, right? So those things, how rich identify opportunities. Like sometimes some people see opportunities as problem and obstacles. So opportunities are not those things. You need to identify those things. Like you need to identify opportunity. It's like the saying, the kahavat that we have in our India, like only Johri can identify the hira, right? Johri को ही हीरे की परख होती है. तो ऐसे ही it is also applicable in our life. Once you are trained well, you know things well, you can identify opportunities and you can distinguish between opportunities and obstacles. Okay, so this is one thing that this chapter has covered. So the second part is that he talks about boldness. Like some people in life, like it is not guarantee that you are smart, you will get success. You have to be bold. So the saying goes like this: often in the real world, it is not the smart who get ahead, but the bold one. Okay, so you have to be bold. It's not like you are smart enough, you can do things, right? You have to be bold to take risk. Like we are having lots of potential in our life. We are having so much to do. So we can do so much things, but why we are not doing? Because we doubt our own self, we doubt our own potential. We think that this cannot be done, or people will laugh if I do it. So what happened? Those kind of doubts suppresses our genius. So in our life, there should be a balance between those two things. One is your genius level, and one is your boldness level. So there should be a balance between those two. There should not be one thing much and one thing higher. There should be a balance. So you can go ahead in your life. Third thing, I will just discuss one part of it from this chapter, because this chapter is too huge. So I will just discuss one last thing. The thing is that you need to understand what is money. Okay, so money is not something real. Okay, this author says money is not real. It is basically agreement between the two parties. Okay, so I'll just give you example why it is like that. It is true, obviously. You can check the note, it will be written there, I promise bearer to have this much of money, right? And after that there should be a sign of the reserving of the India, right? So this is an agreement between you and the reserving, right? So this money, you need to understand, this is not real. This is basically an agreement, and this is virtual. So once you understand that money is not real, you will earn it faster, you will earn it more. And if you think it is real, it is something that you can acquire, or you can store somewhere, then you will work harder, and obviously you will not earn much. So these are three things that I'll cover today, and in the next session I will cover more from this topic. Thank you.
Amazing, Rohit. You amazingly covered. Very good story, Graham Bell, and then ultimately ended with people to think. अभी जाके लोग पैसे निकाल के देखेंगे भाई क्या ये agreement है क्या?
Yes. आप check कर सकते हो. It is there. So that you will understand what is money. Actually आपको समझना होगा, right? So correct. Things get clear. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome, amazing sharing, Rohit. Thank you so much for sharing, yaar. Great. So we'll go to the introduction quickly, and then we'll come back to the speaker. So guys, people who have joined for the first time, you can unmute yourself and share your name, profession, who invited you, and where do you locate right now. Quickly, you can unmute one by one. Whoever joined us for the first time. I see many people, 5 to 6 people who joined for the first time. Ankur, you would like to go first?
Yeah, sure, Kiran. I'll just...
if it is feasible, do switch on video so that people can see also who Ankur is.
Hey guys. Yeah, so this is Ankur here, right? I'm just 3 years into this corporate. I work for a company called Exotel, and I was referred by my manager, Mr. Sanket. So he's also on the call today, and he actually really liked these sessions. So he told me like, hey, why don't you join us? And I had a call with Kiran yesterday, and it was very insightful. So I thought, okay, let me also give a try, and it's going good till now. I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you, Ankur. Thank you so much for introducing. Thank you. Great. So who else? Next. Karan. Karan, you can go ahead if you can hear me. Karan Kaur.
Yeah. Actually, I'm Grijat friend, and he told me that I could, I should join here. And it was my, I think, second time, but first time I was totally dormant. Yeah, second time, but at that time I just left quickly because I had some work. And then Girja told me that today is also a good session about books, so you can join here. So I saw everything, and it was okay. Like I like the sessions here. The people are very enthusiastic. About myself, I am working as an IT professional at Genpact in Pune. So before this, I was in Mumbai, and there is a Girja and me. We're working together at L&T Infotech at Mumbai for 2 years, and they became friends.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Karan, for introducing. I hope it adds value to you. Great. So we'll move to the next introduction. Who else? Karan, Stan. Mahesh. Mahesh, if you've joined for the first time, you can
Karan,
unmute in. Anyone spoke something? Ha, Bhushan, bolo.
No, I'm just telling Mahesh and Ranbir or.
Acha. Mahesh, if you can hear me,
Yeah.
you can introduce
Hello.
yourself.
Hello guys, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Mahesh.
Yeah. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Bhushan, for referring me and just giving me a little overview yesterday on a call and approaching me on LinkedIn. That was good. So this session is helpful for me overall, what I understand, and just like to go through a book and explaining what you understand from the chapter. So it gives a good exposure, like how you represent things across, like in front of you, the fear you come over your fear and how you put it across, because at times you know that you understand things but it is difficult for us to put it across. So I guess this is a good platform to do these things, and I'm happy for that. Thank you.
Thank
So
you, Mahesh.
about me, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
about me, I work in IT company in Bangalore. Nowadays I'm down here as you know that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Mahesh. Great.
Thank you.
So who else? Ranbir, I think Ranbir, you're also new. Ranbir, you can also introduce quickly.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Ranbir.
Yeah, hi. I am Ranbir here. I referred by like Bhusan. Yesterday they called me like about the approaching about the in LinkedIn, and this is like good thing for me. Like I understood lots of things about the books and regarding the futures and more information about the like how to build your career about your career money successful something like home something all that things. So this is good things for personal information or personal development. So I'm in Bangalore right now, and I'm also like IT professional, like I'm working in datamatics in Bangalore. uh, it's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranbir. Thank you so much for introducing. Thank you for taking out time. Great. So संगीता जी आप वापस से quickly introduce कर दीजिएगा. I think now people are this. संगीता
Yeah,
जी.
yes, sure. Yeah, hi, this is Sangeeta. Actually, I was recommended by Gayatri. She is my friend, and I really thanks to her that she told me about this session. And I am a homemaker and living in Pune, but I think that learning never stops. So if I am a homemaker, I will sure definitely learn many things from this session, and I will prepare for the next week. I will read the book because today this is my first day and I'm not prepared for that. But next week, I will prepare for the session.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so
And
much,
thank
Sangeeta
you,
ji.
Kiran, and thank you, Gayatri. Yeah.
Thank you. Great. Glad to have you here. Next, I think we have Subra also. Shubra, you can also introduce yourself quickly.
Hi, myself Shubhra. I was referred by Priyanka, and I like reading books, so she said like it's a good platform, where you get a lot of motivation, and they speak about some real scenario things, and so I just thought of putting in.
Thank you so much,
I
Shubra. And what do you
work
do,
in
Shubra?
I work in IT actually.
In Bangalore?
Yeah, I'm in Bangalore, so
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you
right
so
now.
much for joining. I hope it adds value to you.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Great.
Thank you.
So, did we miss anyone else? I think we covered all new folks. Sanjeeva, I think Sanjeeva Reddy is new, I guess. Anyone else you
Yeah,
think you miss?
yeah.
Go ahead, Sanjeev. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Kiran, thanks.
So I think I gave you a small teaser of in the last week. So I'm going to talk about this book, Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. So I think a lot of times we try to communicate some ideas. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't stick. Sometimes we need to keep repeating to the people, I told you, I told you. Okay, so how to make this idea stick? Okay, so these 6 principles which I'm going to talk, but today I'll be talking about first main principle. See, I think the author tells about a small story from Southwest Airlines. This was success. It's from Houston to Las Vegas, I guess. It's very successful from past 30 years. Okay, and their core agenda is to keep their fares low. So usually what their motto is, low fare airline. It is usually called as a low fare airline. They can also tell it as they want to improve their shareholder value, all that. That is also there. But if you do you think that a flight attendant can relate if you tell him we want to increase our shareholding value and all this? So that's why and even one of the employees came up and said, sir, we are giving peanuts to our passengers. Why don't we give chicken salad? Okay, so then the person, like the owner tells, if we give chicken salad, what about the low fare airline? Where will the tag go? We have to increase it, right? So every message when you want to communicate, there will be a core thing which you want to communicate. So a lot of times what happens is, if we want to communicate, entertain the audience, we lose this core message because of entertaining the audience. So instead of entertaining or going around the bush, take the core message and make your core message interesting. Okay, don't bury your core message. This is the first thing which I want to communicate today. So stick on to your core message and don't bury it. So I'll just give you 2 examples on how you will communicate this core message in an effective way so that it will stick. Okay, so I'll just share my screen. So I hope you are able to see my screen. Okay, so I'll give you some 3 seconds. Just write it down or make a note, take a notepad. I'll just give you a few letters. I'll give you 5 or 6 seconds. Just see how much you can remember it. Okay, I'll give you 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll give you 5 seconds. Remember, just see what you can remember after 5 seconds. Okay, so how many letters do you remember? Any guesses?
4.
3.
Okay. Okay.
8.
Okay, so I think 8 is the maximum. So now I'll share you the screen again with the same letters, but it's little jumbled. Okay, let's see how much you'll remember now. Okay, let's play the game again. I'll give you another 5 seconds. Here you go. This is the next one. Okay, your 5 seconds starts now. Okay, so now it's better than last time.
4.
Yes.
Yeah, it is better.
Yeah, so why do you think it is better than last time?
I think last time it was very much jumbled, but this time at least it was arranged, or it was in a sense actually.
Exactly. Revati was very right. So last time, if you see, it was just jumbled here and there. So now if you see, you can relate JFK to John F. Kennedy, FBI, okay, NASA, IRS, NATO. This is all very relatable words. Okay, immediately you think, okay, JFK, you can remember. Okay, there is like a pointer, there is like a schema which you can relate to. Okay, so that's what the author tells. When you want to communicate the core message, relate it to some schema, something which can people remember. I'll just give you another example before I end. Do you guys know pomelo? Okay, I'll tell you what pomelo is. A pomelo is the largest citrus fruit. The rind is very thick but soft and easy to peel away. The resulting fruit has a light yellow to coral pink flesh and can vary from juicy to slightly dry and from seductively spicy sweet to tangy and tart. Do you remember? No, do you remember what is pomelo? It's very difficult. It's difficult, right? Okay. So now I'll give you another meaning of pomelo. Okay, just see if you can remember this. A pomelo is basically a supersized grapefruit which is very thick and soft rind. Okay. That's all. Now, do you remember what is pomelo? Why do you remember?
Yeah, it's like Three Idiots. What is the motive? What is the motive? You know, the Three Idiot dialogue. He asked Amir
Correct,
Khan,
correct.
what was the motive? It's something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I just told it's a supersized grapefruit. So grapefruit, we all know grapefruit. So it's just a supersized version of grapefruit with color and soft brain. Okay, so you were able to immediately, it will be stick. Okay, grapefruit. But in the first version, it was all complicated and I was not able to relate to you. Okay, so that's the difference. So just stick on to the core message and see how effectively you can communicate the core message. And next time I'll be covering how the other 4-5 principles we can do it easily, remember easily. Okay, thanks, Kiran.
Amazing, Karthik. As usual, you rock with your examples and your presentation skills are tremendously good. So I won't delay Sahana to speak. So, Sahana, you can go ahead. You can compliment Karthik pretty well. So I'm pretty excited about the topic.
So, hi Kiran, am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, Karthik has shared so much of fun. And I'll be sharing the continuation. I mean, I'll be just summarizing the whole of Ordinary story that I have been, I think, keeping people on a suspense for the last couple of weeks. So, last week I told that, Ordinary went through a lot of challenges, and he met the giants. So the final land he came to was the giants. So here he met giants like moneyless and corruption and rejection, and there were so many things that he came across. So now in the land of giants, he meets someone called anybody. So now nobody meets, no, from the land of nobody he meets someone called anybody. So these anybodies are also similar like nobodies, and he'd be trying, I mean, they'll be so excited to see Ordinary because he'll be fighting against all the big giants like a warrior, and they feel really happy, and they find a hope because anybody's have a similar lifestyle like what nobodies have. And then he ends the fight with the giants, and then he steps into the land of promises. So land of promises sounds so much better than all the lands that I just covered last week, because this land of promise is where and what ordinary was looking for. So he steps there, and this land of promises is basically the land of anybody's, and all these anybody's are so excited to see Ordinary because they were finding hope, and they ask him to stay there for a while. And Ordinary actually says that he would stay only for a short span because he has a big dream to achieve. And he sees the city is very beautiful, but there's a lot of darkness in them. Basically, they're sad, they're poor, they live in very poor homes and all that. And he realizes that there's a lot that anybody's can do, and he starts walking through the whole cities, and people actually celebrate that Ordinary is there because they were finding themselves to be something better than what they were. And once he starts walking around, he meets so many anybody's, like all the kids and all come happily running around him, and he feels that there's a vibe in that place. And he goes near the gate, and there is a carving of, it's mentioned that this is the dream. So dream giver asks him, what do you see? And he's so perplexed and he's so surprised that he sees his dream written there on the or carved on the gate, and he still cannot believe himself. And he takes a decision to actually pursue the dream that he was wanting for, and he sees it like a reality. And one day, I know one anybody comes and asks him that he's not happy with the job, and it's very boring for him. And Ordinary relates to the story, saying, I mean, like, because he had just passed the same phase and come till there, and so he relates to the story. And he asks him, do you want to do something? So the anybody says, I wish I could, but then, and he stops him. He says, everybody is born to be special, and we can accomplish great things. So he encourages the anybody. He understands that they also have a dream, and he makes them sit in a place and ask them to sing a song that he had tuned before, but with the words which encourages anybody to, pursue his dream and go forward and do something better. So once he says all that, anybody's a set of anybody start to get encouraged and they start living their dreams. And when he again goes around the city, the actual dream of what he had visualized comes right in front of his eyes with so much of happiness, and there's so much of gleam around, and there's a lot that he can sense. So he says his dream is coming true, and the dream giver says him, so are you happy and are you there almost? Then he says, I'm so glad I'm able to pursue my dream. And he actually gets him out of the land of promises. The reason is, again, when we stick there, we get comfortable in that particular place. So we need to move forward and pursue more than what we actually, the bigger dreams that the dream giver says. And he becomes such a big devotee to the dream giver that, he starts to leave the land of promises, sees more valleys, sees more rivers, sees more lands of promises, and he wants to help more people. So more anybodies or nobodies. And he walks towards his journey. So what the summary is we need to find, or we need to never give up on our dream and keep focusing. And whatever hurdles come, definitely nothing comes at ease. So if you see any successful people around, they would have definitely crossed so many hurdles. So once when we cross the hurdles, I mean, like the giants or the wasteland or the bullies, everything that we cross, we come to a stage where we're immune to it, and we start dreaming bigger. So we need to find that kind of association. Definitely book club and PIM is a place where dream givers have, where the dream giver has given dreams to all of us here, and that's why we are here doing something better than what the actual world is doing. So this book, I really wanted to give this statement. This book is not just a book, it's an experience. It gives such a big imagination, and it's really amazing that way. That's what I wanted to share.
Thank you so much, Sahana. You let us to imagine now, and definitely people have not read this book now. अब तो पकड़ के पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, because it's an experience. Truly, it's an experience while you read. Great, thank you so much. Cool. So we'll move to the next speaker. Okay, I think Sanket wanted to speak here for the first time. Sanket, would you want to speak today? Sanket, if you're...
Yes, Karan, I can.
Yeah, in case your bandwidth is fine, you can switch on the video, or else you can go ahead.
There is some Kiran and guys for this wonderful opportunity. This is my first time I'm sharing my thoughts with you guys. So to start with this book club, Kiran suggested me to start with Think and Grow Rich, a book. So at the start, Bhushan has already given a beautiful introduction regarding the book. So I will build on that. So Think and Grow Rich was, I guess, was printed in 1936 by Napoleon, author named Napoleon, by interviewing 200 more people, and on the basis of their experience, more than 500 people, on basis of their experience, he wrote these books. So this book contains 13 principles. Before going to the 13 principles, there is a beautiful chapter, an introduction chapter. So I will speak on that first. So it's regarding the power of thought. Yeah. So he'll demonstrate the power of thought and how it has the power to shape your life in this particular introduction. So he has given a couple of example as well. So first example what he has given was one of the example which he has given was regarding Mr. Darby. He was one of the best insurance salesperson at his time. So he and his uncle basically started decided to dig a gold basically. So they went to the gold mine and started digging the gold. Initially they got few success and found the gold, and finding the success they bought one machinery to dig further. So after digging some other time, so they dig for a couple of days, but they were not getting any success. So after few days, like they give up, and then they sold that machinery to the to the young man. So young man, after seeing that machinery, decided that he will go and he'll dig that particular basically mine which they had left over. So what he did before mining, he hired one engineer to give some take some expert advice from him. And as per his advice, the gold was there 3 feet down, where the Mr. Darby and his uncle had left. So after digging, they found that gold. So as per Mr. Hills, what he want to say with this example, basically, Mr. Darby and his uncle, they thought that they are digging for many days and there is no gold, and therefore they thought they should quit, and they eventually quit. On the other hand, the junk man thought that he might get the gold, and he then started. He took expert advice from these engineer, and then he started digging there and he found the gold. So basically, the power of thought, the thought is very important in this particular example, basically, because they thought negatively, they found they did not success in the gold, and basically the other guy, the young guy, found like gold because his thought was very clear that he knew there would be a gold. So that in this particular, like with this particular example, Mr. Napoleon Hill will try to explain us how the power of thought influence our basic influence us in life to life. I would like to give a example, my real life example. Back in 2011, when I was started with this company named Intuit, that time also we were struggling to to present a strategy for go to market, and our company already told that either you present a strategy or we will have to shut the that particular particular product, because the earlier product also got failed. So one day, like we decided, we tried our level best with various small experiment with the various strategies and process, and eventually we succeed. But how we succeed? Because we have one thing in mind, that anyways we have to give a shot, and we have to focus on whatever things comes to us, whatever we'll try till last till the company says enough. So basically, we had given a lot of effort, and eventually we are able to success. The only thing I remember that time, and I relate with this book, basically, that time we thought that we will success, and we had not quit. The quitting is very easy at that time, but we had never quit, and we were able to success. We got the success in our process, and we were able to successfully launch the go-to market for Intuit for one of their prime products. So yeah.
Amazing, Sanket. The best part is that you could really relate the learning with your real life. I think that will really give a lot of insight to people, because that is where 3 feet away from gold matters. You don't give up. Great, Sanket. Thank you so much for sharing. I think Sanket is sharing for the first time, so it is really, I can understand the kind of courage it requires to come up and speak and give it everything, whatever you have. Awesome, Sanket. Thank you so much. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker then. Prakash, you would like to go next?
Yeah, Kiran.
Prakash, you can go ahead. Spotlight you.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the topic from the magic of thinking big. So I'm going to talk about one of the lesson, that is how to think big. Okay, so the one of the line I liked from that chapter is that the tendency to think small means there is much less competition than you think for very rewarding career. Okay, so it means that if you are not thinking big, there may be many more people who are actually not thinking big. Means there is much more possibility of winning in the successful career or whatever you want to achieve. Okay, so how big we think, that determines the size of our accomplishments actually. So if you think really small, so if you think that something you cannot do, it means you really cannot do. But if you believe that things you can do, then obviously, and you will get succeeded into doing those things. Okay, so in order to think big, we should be considering whatever challenges we face, that we should consider in a positive way actually. Okay, so I see many of the time people are complaining about the problems they have, but I also see the people who says, say for example, instead of saying we face a problem, if someone says that we have a challenge and we have to overcome that problem, so this challenge is a positive word and we will take it sportively and we will act accordingly to solve those problems, not considering as a problem but as a challenge. So that is what I think. So so these kind of things, so your positive vocabulary uh, will decide that how you get up to your success. So basically I am going to talk about the 4 ways to develop big thinkers vocabulary, which is given in the how to think big chapter. Okay, so always use big positive cheerful words and phrases to describe how you feel. Okay, have you ever experienced somewhat like in the morning you called your friend, your colleague, and you asked, how are you today? So have you ever heard any of the answers from like, today I'm feeling very bad, today I'm not well, something like that? At that moment you will feel like you are also not feeling well, you are not also feeling good that day, and your whole day will be get screwed up actually. So never ever use those bad words in the starting of your day. Use bright, cheerful, favorable words and phrases to describe other people. Okay, so sometimes I experience that somewhere if someone is not getting succeeded, he's trying hard but he's not getting succeeded, I see many of the people saying that he's not able to do that. But instead of saying that, you can say that he is trying his best, he's just a 2 step away from his whatever task he is doing. So that is how you can use cheerful words to other people. Okay, that spreads the positivity among all the people. Use positive language to encourage others. Always 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 encourage the people around you. Maybe it's your wife, you can say your wife, you made a very good, you cooked very good food today, whatever it may be. But if you encourage people, that kind of encouragement you will get in the bag. Okay, always use positive words to outline plans to others. Okay, so many times I observe that our colleagues saying that there there is a lot of work coming our way and we have to, anyways we have to do it. Instead of, if they could have said like that, we have a big plan ahead, we have a lot of work to do, and that will really help us to improve ourselves. So that will be a positive thinking, and will boost up team's performance or whoever getting into touch with those persons. So these are the basic four things which we can think about, like using positive words for the people, using cheerful favorable words for the describe other people, and using positive language to encourage other people, and always use the positive words to outline the whatever plans you have. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Kiran. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, Prakash. As usual, I think your growth is really going very, very high. The best part in today's talk I loved is the kind of voice inflection you had in your talk. And a good communicator always has a good voice inflection with expression and emotions, and that is very super highlight with you. You communicated with your style of talk. Wonderful, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
So we'll move to the next speaker. I think Revati will have a very interesting topic to share. Revati, if you're online, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead, Revati.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Revati, and I'm from Bangalore. So today my topic is about a startup. So when you are having any idea that you want to establish a startup, so these are the main key points that you have to keep in the mind. So this is the landmines of a startup, and this is actually from Vijay's workshop. Okay, so and the book from where it is taken is E-Myth Revisited. Okay, So I'm sure that like most of us, when we have been working for some, I mean, let's say like 7 years or 8 years, so any point of the time, so we might think somewhere down the line that okay, I'm good at this work, I'm technically very sound, or need not necessarily it's always about a profession. You might also be very good at cooking, right? So you might think, okay, I'm very best in doing something, so why not I set up my own establishment, and then so that I have my own company. So anything could be the reason. Or you might have something like you have your own vision that you want to be very famous, or anything it could be. Okay. So, but when you think that you want a startup, just the idea is enough? No, right? Definitely not. Because see, the first and foremost thing, since we are all very much from a, I can say like a middle class family, the way we would be told right from our childhood is you should read well, you should get a good marks, then you get into a good job. So always it's like you get a good job. So nowhere you have that mindset of a entrepreneur, right? And also this is the first and very most important thing, okay, about the mindset. So and also what the statistics say is any startup, once it's been started, it's like 40% of the startups fail in the first year of its achievement, okay. And then in the 5 years, like 80% of startups close. So why all, I mean, why this happens actually? So are we really understanding what are the points that we have to consider? So coming to those 6 landmines, like what we have to keep in mind. So the first one is the technical expertise. So see, me as a technical person, I might think I'm very good in doing the things, okay, but that alone is not enough. So I might think if I open any setup related to my technical aspect or profession or anything that you are good at it, so you can think that that alone is enough to make my business very good, but that is not the thing. And the second one is the imbalance of three personalities. So when I say three personalities, it is nothing but see, when I want a setup, definitely I would have had a very big dream. Anything it could be, might be I want a good name, or I want my own establishment, okay, that is one thing. And pragmatic. So pragmatic personality is nothing but how my managerial skills are about. So when I say managerial, so it's not me alone working, right? Might be I need people who are better than me in doing the things, okay. And expertise is definitely the thing in where I'm good at, might be my technical expertise, okay. So it is always the combination of these three. So it's just like a simple thing I can say. See, if you want any good dish, it is always a proportionate combination of all the salt, spice, and whatever you add, right? If anything is not in proportion, definitely you don't get a wonderful dish out of it. So it's as simple as that. And lack of vision. So see, just because I want to open a startup, I can't do that. Or either I'm not happy with my work, or over the time I lost the excitement. It can't be that. So I should have a vision, like why I want to do it. So that is very important thing, okay. And the fourth one is definitely a very biggest point that we can't ignore, which is a no proper financial planning. As in, see, one must be very good in managing the finances, okay. This applies to all the aspects, it's not just the startup I'm talking about. So this is one factor. And the fifth one is relying on individual talent. As in, see, I might be very good technically, but I can't think only that is enough, or me alone doing everything will make the thing successful or work it out. because see, I might be technically good, but there might be people who are really smarter than me, might be getting good clients or projects to me, right? So I need to understand to hire the people who are smarter than me also. Okay. And then the last point is perseverance. This is the very crucial point, I can say. So most of us, like, we like in a very short time we think, nothing is working out, I can't do it anymore. Might be, let's say I'll open a company and then I think after 6 months down the line, no, this is not working out, so might be I should go back to my job, I made a wrong decision. So it is not that, because I still remember in one of PIM sessions, Vijay was telling the Infosys example, okay, like where he was telling this line, till 8 years I couldn't get a single client. So this is what Narayan Murthy was saying. So like we can look at it, right? Such a successful MNC today it is, and for 8 years he had to wait literally. So I mean, so this is just like something that Kiran had suggested me on the topic, so I just got a gist of it and I'm sharing it. So it's like, I can say even I'm also looking for such kind of experience. So that's all.
Thank you, Revati. I think
Thank you, Kiran, for
the
the
points which you covered is so deep. I'm sure बहुत लोगों के myths bust हो चुके होंगे, because most people believe, especially if you're in a technical guy, you want to open an IT startup. But people forget that once you open IT startup, your role changes to a leader. You have to manage everything. Not only IT, you have to manage people, you have to manage everything. आपको manage करना पड़ेगा. So very nicely covered, Revati. Thank you so much. So we'll move to the next speaker. Also, we have a guest speaker already there. So we'll go to the next speaker and then we'll come to our guest speaker. Bhaskar, you would like to go ahead? I think you didn't speak last time as well. Bhaskar?
Yes, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead, Bhaskar. In case you have a better bandwidth, you can switch on the video.
I will try.
Yeah.
Yes, so today my topic is the first chapter of this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay. So in this first chapter, the topic is if you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Okay. So in this, the author is mainly explaining about if you criticize the people, how they will take it, how they will defend it. So he talks about so many examples in this 20-page first chapter. Out of that, I try to give a few examples of that. So number one, first example is he talks about how the criminals thinks about. So there are many criminals in US. He talks about it. So those are mainly like they killed so many people with stabbing, with gunshot, and when they get a sentence in the last day, when they when they're about to die, even that day also they try to defend. So the kind of statements they use is, so this is what I am getting for killing people. No, this is what I'm getting for defending myself. So they always try to defend if you criticize. And they also think they are the public benefactor and people misunderstood them like that. So then think about normal people, even the criminals are thinking like this. So this is about how the criminals think it. Then he comes. Then he talks about one more example. The president of US and the one more his party man. So they had a disagreement on one of the topic. They went into argument. Finally, so everybody, both of them tried to defend themselves. Then party split. Finally, they saw the worst defeat for the party in the history. So they were limited to 2 states. So even after defeat, also they try to defend themselves. No, we are correct. So then one more example he talks about is Abraham Lincoln. So in this example, he told about like there was some civil war. So one guy called Lee, he was leading that civil war. So after so many days of fight, so they could corner him on one side of the On one side there was a river flowing, and other side the American army is there, so they could easily caught him, whether they kill or they can catch him. But then Lincoln actually ordered just go and attack them. But the army general, he didn't attack them. So then he conducted the general meeting to take opinion and how to go about it. So finally, by the next day, then a river flow came down, and finally, uh, the Lee and his army could escape. So that time Lincoln written a harsh letter to the general army saying, this is not I expected from you. Then you must have understood the misfortune happened, all this lot of things he written. So then actually that letter was not posted. So that was the maturity of Abraham Lincoln. So then author so then after Abraham Lincoln died, then that letter came out, and then so in that he written this thing. So maybe why it was not posted to general, then author guessed like, okay, maybe he must have thought a minute before posting that letter. Maybe on the ground level is different than what he's thinking in the AC room. So the ground level, maybe the general is seeing a lot of bloodbath and the wounded people crying and this thing. So that's why maybe the actions were taken by the general may be correct. So then he didn't post. So I think it was the right thing, because by posting this what he could have achieved, then general could try to defend him by with some with his own points. So and it will upset the relations also. So like this, so many examples we tell. So the message what I took away from this is, by criticizing, you will not get anything. You will try to see the resentment from the other person. They will try to defend, and they will try to prove themselves as correct. So if you want, instead of dependent, so instead of criticizing in a harsh way, we can tell in a polite way also. For example, one more story he tells about in a factory, the manager will give strict guidelines to his team to wear a hard helmet to protect from any injuries and all, any accident happen. So then, then initially he goes and tell with a lot of authority and with a strict voice. Then people will listen, and then as soon as he goes away, they will try to remove and work. So then their compliance, they see less compliance with this authority and this thing. So then next day they want to try differently. Then he tells politely, okay, is this helmet is uncomfortable for you? It is not fitting properly. Actually, then we try to explain this is designed to protect you people from accidents and this thing. It may be a little difficult for you wear, with a nice tone, and so then that is accepted by the people. Then they see more compliance. So overall message is, we should instead of criticizing in a harsh way, we should learn how to tell in a nice way, so that they will instead of defending them, they will take it and follow it.
Amazing, Bhaskar. Really nicely you covered, because all the points which you covered is with all examples and stories. That was the best part, which I really loved it. In fact, Abraham Lincoln, you covered criticism. Again, you covered the way you pass on the message instead of being very harsh to people. Amazing, Bhaskar. Keep sharing more and more. Glad to see you speaking. Thank you so much. So I think the time has come. So I'm pretty excited right now, because there's someone very special who has come here to share his experience, share his knowledge, and pour his heart out to all of you on a very interesting topic. So he's none other than Akshay. I think Akshay को introduce करना तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा time लग जाएगा, but I'll just basically give you Akshay is my personal coach from PM. I have met Akshay through PIM, and it's been almost 3 to 4 years I've known him personally, and he has been mentoring me, coaching me in multiple aspects of life, and I'm pretty blessed to have him in my life. And the moment he speaks, you will understand the depth of the knowledge he carries. It's like he's kind of Pacific Ocean, बहुत ही deep है, तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा ठीक से concentrate करने के लिए. And Akshay is NIT Jaipur pass out, more than 19 year experience, pretty successful. I don't have to tell more about him. So Akshay, the stage is all yours. You can go ahead and share.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you for the nice words. And I joined some time back and I was hearing Bhaskar, and before that I heard Revati to some extent. Awesome speeches. You guys are doing amazing. And best part I would say is like you have the wonderful mentor to help you as Kiran. Okay, so we have worked together, and I always feel like that most of you will agree that one of the best mentors got in terms of the kind of energy he carries everywhere and the kind of love he carries for everyone. Beautiful. So you're doing amazing. And today I'm going to talk about a very important topic which is very, very close to my heart, and that is about taking decisions. The topic that you probably would have got is art of taking decision. Why it is important to take decision in life. And if, in fact, if I ask you how many of you think how many decisions have you taken? If I personally speak, I don't think I have taken many decisions. See, getting a birth in which family, that was not under my control. I did not know where will I get the birth, right? That family that I got was not my decision. Most of the time, the school you went to, the college you went to was not your decision. It was decided by someone, some uncle of yours, or maybe your parents or whosoever. Friends, maybe you decided some of them. Marriage, lot of times it is a decision which is taken by family. Job, you got it through elimination. That was the case with me also. Correct. So how many decisions actually we have taken, and why it is important to take decision? First thing that we have to understand is why making decisions are important. The line I would like to tell you here is the pace at which you grow in your life is decided by the speed of decisions you take. The pace of your growth in life is decided by the speed at which you take or execute decisions. Now let me tell you some advantages of taking decision. The first very big advantage is it makes you tough. Because whenever we take some decision, there's some consequences out of it. Correct? And we have to be tough to bear those consequences. If I decide to be healthy, right, I have to be tough. I should not be eating sweets. Correct? Now, next important reason is it makes our life simple. And you would wonder, like, right, one side I'm saying it is making us tough. Second is it is about making life simple. See, most of the times we burn a lot of our energy in taking whether to do it or not to do it. Correct? Some of you who are not regular to this book club, you might have wondered, कि आज मैं book club join करूं या नहीं करूं. And most of the times when you don't do it, you spend a lot of energy. कि यार कर लेना चाहिए था, नहीं किया, or maybe I should do it, maybe next time I'll do it. A lot of times you spend or you dissipate a lot of energy in the process of making decision. But if you have made a decision, it stops that energy dissipation. A lot of energy you'll save once you take a decision. It makes your life simple. And third is it gives you clarity in life. One of the very good aspect about decision is it gives you clarity in life. Suppose I want to go for vacation now. The corona is over, and all of us decide, okay, let us go to like my family, and we decide that okay, we'll go for some vacation. Now, what are the possible vacation? If you're in Bangalore side, if you're in South, Ooty you can go, Kodaikanal, Munnar. These are 2-3 options, right? But unless I take a decision where I will go, how will I do the bookings? How will I decide the mode of transport? How will I decide what places will I visit? So all that clarity will only come when I decide, okay, this is the place I want to go. So clarity is always followed by decision. Once you take the decision, it gives you clarity. Now, why do people avoid taking decision? Why do people not take decision most of the times? One of the reason is criticism. Correct? Fear of rejection scares you. It scares you. Whenever you are about to take a decision, there is a scare with it. Because there is a fear of failure. Whatever decision, see today if I decide, okay, in the next 3 months I will lose 5 kgs or 10 kgs, right? People might ridicule me. It may happen, it may not happen. The chances are I may not also succeed. And if I don't succeed, people might come and ridicule you. मैंने तो बोला था, I told you upfront, right? It will not happen for you. At least तुमसे तो नहीं होगा. Correct? Second reason why people don't take decision is it challenges you. As we discussed earlier, like if I want to cut down on my weight, which means I have to cut down on my sweet intake also. Which means every time, whenever I'm taking a decision, it associates itself with some challenges that we have to take care. You have to, like, if I want to join a exercise health class or some health class from 5 to 6 p.m., which I do, that means I have to wrap up my work before 5 o'clock. I have to be in my jumpers. I have to be ready with my mat, yoga mat and everything by 5 o'clock. Challenges me. It challenges me to finish my work in time. And third is, it changes you. Once you take a decision and if you follow it, your life will be changed. And most of the times what I have observed is, whenever you take a decision, something in you changes. And a lot of times people are scared to change. People are like, my lifestyle has to change. If I want to lose weight in a healthy way, my lifestyle has to change. I cannot keep on hogging in the night, which I otherwise do. Correct? I have to make some changes in my life. I have to change myself. And a lot of times people are afraid of that change. That is why they don't take decision. But then coming to, what is a decision actually? Hota kya hai decision? What is a decision? Are all of you are comfortable with little Hindi? Or should I stick to English?
No, Akshay, you can mix. You can mix.
Mix, right? Yeah. So, look, like some of you unmute and say, what is decision for you? Yeah.
To choose one choice over the another, choosing between pros and
choice.
cons, giving weightage.
Gives a clarity on path.
Correct. That is the outcome of taking decision. But what is a decision?
Filtering out
one of the multiple options.
One of the multiple options. Again, choices. Yes.
First step. First step.
First step. Yes. Good. Very good answer. What else? Okay. So let me word it different. All of you, whatever you said is right. But the way I want to phrase decision is, decision is elimination of choices. Decision is elimination of choices. Now, if I give you like small example, see, few days back, I went for shopping. Okay, I wanted to buy some t-shirts and I went to Lifestyle, and there were a lot of around 300, 400 varieties were available, different size, different shapes, and all those colors and all those. Correct. But I cannot buy everything. I was liking maybe like 50, 60 I like. Would I buy 50, 60? No. I had to eliminate some of them. Correct. So when you go for shopping, you have limited budget or limited money, and with that you buy whatever you want to buy. And similarly, if we talk about life, see, all of us have a lot of choices, right? If you're working in a company, or maybe like you can become a CEO of a company, you can become a senior manager, or maybe you can start an NGO, you can start some like chota mota business start kar sakte, you can become an entrepreneur yourself. There are a lot of possibilities for us. But then all of us are limited by time. Time is the limiting factor. So when you go for shopping, money or budget is the limiting factor. But when you talk about life, time is the limiting factor. And decision is about eliminating some of these choices. You have to find out what is that you are passionate about. What is, see, when I'm talking about decision here, I'm not talking about things actually. What to eat, which party to go, what to watch this movie, this weekend, what movie to watch. All those things I'm not talking about. I'm talking about decisions which can change your life, decisions which can alter the path of your life. Coming to decision, what is the characteristics of decision? Next, we'll talk about what are the characteristics of decision. The first and very important characteristic is it has to be goal oriented. As I discussed about health, right? Now, if I want to take a decision, imagine if I say, okay, within 5-6 months, I will lose half a kg. Now, is it a goal? Is it a decision? Do I need to make a decision for this? People will laugh, right? I can skip a meal and tomorrow I can weigh half a kg less. Right? Decision is something which should scare you. See, I would say the way it has to be taken is, it is not a decision if it is not scaring you. Agar it easily possible, then it's not, you don't have to take a decision, right? When Gandhiji decided that I will throw all the Britishers out of India, was it clear? How will it happen? When Mother Teresa decided nobody in her capacity will die on roads, Was she clear about the roadmap? Was she clear where the funds will come from? When Sachin Tendulkar decided to become a cricketer, was he clear? Will he be selected in the Indian team? No. Path will be shown on the way. I don't know how many of you watch Harry Potter movie. किसने देखा है? How many of you watched Harry Potter movie? Lot of you. There's a wonderful sentence which Dumbledore, who's the headmaster of Hogwarts School, what he says is, help is always given to those who need it. Help is always available for all those who need it. I just modify it a little, or which Dumbledore also modified at the end of the movie, in the last movie. Help is always available to those who deserve it. All this decision, what we need to do is, like when we are taking decision, we have to become deserving to that. Whatever goal that we want to achieve, this taking decision will help to become deserving to that, or to be worthy of that goal. Correct? So whatever you are passionate about, whatever you want to achieve in life, you can achieve it, provided you're ready to take that big step. You are ready to take that decision. Correct? And second very important factor of decision is, it has to be your ownership. It has to be owned by you. I'll give a very simple example. See, I was in 10th and I was a good student, and as normal, like I had to choose between subjects, like whether to take science, arts, or commerce. And as usual, like parents will decide for you. And since I was a good student, I got good marks, and parents decided, okay, you should take science. But then what I did not like about science was biology, because for me, cutting was not possible. Like all the cheerfad was not good for me. And I was very clear, like I'll never be doing good, because from inside it was not coming. But then one of my teacher who came to me and he said, like, why do you want to decide now? Decide it later, right? Abhi maths और bio दोनों ले लो. And guess what? I took PCMB, physics, chem. First of all, decision was not by me, and I knew that it was not for me. But then still, I went ahead with that. Do you know what happened? See, today in my career, I've mentored a lot of people who are from IITs as a part of my job and all. And I always think I could have done that. I could have cleared it, but I did not clear IIT. Not because my capability was less, but I was not able to take a decision to drop bio. Very small thing, but it played a very big role in my life. See, I have to own my decision. Lot of times I know people who get married to someone of not their choice, just because उनको लगता है कि ठीक है, अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ तो मम्मी पापा को blame कर सकेंगे. If something goes wrong in marriage, they can blame their parents, and I feel so stupid about this. See, I'm not against arranged marriage. Though mine was a love marriage, and again, like that is about owning a decision, right? When I got married to Seema, was it easy? The cultures were different, upbringing was different. Though she was also Hindu, but there were a lot of differences between her family and my family. Now imagine after marriage, today we are happily married for 17 years, but imagine if something goes wrong in our marriage. Can I blame anybody? मैं किसी को blame कर सकता हूँ क्या? I had to take the ownership. That is one of the very fundamental factor about decision. It has to be your own ownership. Okay, so then we come to the next part of decision, how to take a decision. See, it is the decisions that you take on a daily basis decide your destiny. The decision that you take on a daily basis decide your destiny. A lot of time, I see people taking decision based on ease. So there are two factors. One is pain and pleasure. Like if I give an example of pleasure, watching a movie, eating popcorn, eating ice creams, it is pleasurable, right? Now, healthy food, right? Eating all palak ka sabji khana, or maybe like karele ka juice pina, it's painful, right? Now, what will you prefer? How will you decide small things in life? You'll decide based on pain and pleasure. Sometimes it's okay. When I'm talking about big things in life, it cannot be decided based on pleasure. You cannot decide कि मैं इसलिए कर लूँगा because it is pleasurable to me. Yes, if it is aligned to your passion about your real, like what you really want to do, I agree. It should not be decided because of pain or pleasure. It should be decided whether it is right for you or not. Correct? Exercise, whether I like it or not, it is right for me, I should do it. Correct? Eating junk food, does not matter whether it is pleasurable or not, I should not do it. I have to take my decisions based on right and wrong, not based on pain and pleasure. I'll give you my own example, right? I'm doing good in my company. I have 19 years of corporate experience, working in chip designing industries, married, working in top-notch corporate into telecom, again similar experience. We make good money. But over a period of time, we understood that we don't want to do this job all our life. We want to do something beyond. We wanted to do our own business. Was it easy? It was not. Because along with job, it becomes very, very tough. But what we understood, it is the right thing to do. And we went ahead with it. Correct? So a lot of time people take decisions based on pleasure and pain. What I'm asking you to do is take a decision based on what is right and what is wrong. And second important thing is whenever you take a decision, before that, like don't take decision in haste. Talk to your friends, talk to your family members. They probably know what you're good at. Get in touch with them. Ask them what you want to do or whatever you want to achieve. They will be able to tell you what is your passion area, what is your skill area, what is your expertise area. And then definitely go to a mentor and get guided. Someone who's in that area, who's in that domain. And there, probably your parents and your friends cannot help you. Why? Because if you just see, if you're a surgeon, you're number one surgeon in the world, will you operate your own son or daughter or sister? You will not. You're not allowed to operate your family members, even if you're the number one surgeon. Why? Because even in the moment of toughness, when there's a hard decision to be taken, you'll not be able to bear the pain of them, and you'll not be able to decide. See, I have a 9th class son. Like he's in 9th class. He's 14 years old, and he's passionate about health right now. Whenever he gets very crazy about exercise, he'll do a lot of push-ups. He'll be sweating all around, but still he's still doing it. Is it right? It is. But as a parent, what I feel is, छोड़ दे, हो गया बहुत, कल कर लेना. Now you give up for today. Tomorrow you do it. As a parent, though I want good for him, but I cannot see him in pain. Similarly, if it is about friend can tell you what you can do, but a mentor alone can tell you what is right for you. So you need to have a mentor. It is very important, and that is where Peak Impact Mentorship comes very handy to us. One of the best things that I would say through Peak Impact Mentorship is because it has given a mentor in our life. And last thing about decision taking is take a decision. Lot of times we procrastinate so long that it always it loses its meaning. What is most important is, it is not important whether you take a right decision or a wrong decision. Whether the decision turns out to be right or decision turns out to be wrong. What is important is take a decision. Take a deadline for yourself. Give your time. Okay, एक महीने में लूँगा, but then it should not go beyond 1 month. एक हफ्ते में लूँगा, then it should not go beyond 1 week. Take a decision, because a lot of times we are scared about. There was a story, like I'll just end with this story. There was a very successful person, and he was after there was an interview, and he was asked how are you so successful? And he said, I took some decision, and they turned out to be right. I took some right decision. A reporter asked the next question, how do you take so many right decisions in life? They said, because of my experiences. The reporter asked the third question, how did you get all these experiences? And the person very humbly said, through my wrong decisions. So it does not matter whether your decision is right, turns out to be right or wrong. Important is you take a decision. If a decision turns out wrong, you take a corrective decision. If it turns out right, it is very good. Correct. But very important is don't delay that decision. Take a decision and get ahead. There's a lot more to how to carry a decision, which probably will take in a session later. But before I wind up today, I want to share a video with all of you. Okay. Kiran, is it visible?
Yeah, Akshay, it is visible, yeah. Akshay, the sound is not coming. You have to enable the sound. Akshay? Akshay, can you hear me? The sound is not coming, Akshay.
Is it?
Yes.
Just a second.
Just enable the sound. I've enabled it, I think, yeah.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, audible.
Oh, hello, boys and girls. Tony Hort for the next level. Next level. I want you to improve. I want you to get better. I want you to be the very, very best. So now it's time to get busy. Just call 1-800. Giddy up. Here we go.
You know what? I made the decision to get in shape.
Hey man, thanks for the sweatbands. You're welcome.
Hey, did you hear? I made a decision to get into shape.
Making a decision is step 0. Taking action is step 1.
So guys, that's it from my side. As I said, the video says, like taking a decision. Very important to take a decision, but at the same time, if you take a decision and don't take action, it is meaningless. So how to take this next step, like how to take the decision forward, we'll probably be discussing, but then start taking the decision and start with the action. So that's it from my side, Kiran.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Really, really thank you so much to share your time, because I know if people are not aware of, actually Akshay was already in another book club. Akshay also runs his own book club. He was already in that book club, and he took a decision for us, and gave his time, precious time, and shared his experience. And I think everything is priceless. And people who have stayed that long and to listen, I'm sure you had a treat to learn so many things. And definitely, thank you so much, Akshay, for sharing. And we'll keep calling you and share your knowledge and time to time.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Great. So I think, guys, we have already we came to the almost end of the session. We ran a little bit ahead of it. I'll ask a couple of speakers to give the teasers of the topic before, and today maybe I have to take a decision not to speak, but I'll give a little bit of hint of what I'll be speaking maybe next week. Charanjit, you want to share your topic teaser? Bahubali Part 1. Go ahead, Charanjit.
Sure, Kiran. Hi, good evening all. This is Charanjit Singh from Pune. I will talk about my topic in the next book club session, but today I'll give a teaser. The great speaker, Akshay, he was just sharing his ideas, and there he mentioned about Gandhi ji. तो गांधी जी ने क्या किया देश के लिए? उन्होंने क्या किया? आजादी दिलाने में उनका बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन था, वी वुड से. तो ऐसा क्या फैक्टर था that more than 200 million people were associated to that person? And ऐसा क्या ड्राइविंग फैक्टर था जिसकी वजह से वो लोग उनके साथ स्टिक रहे, and we finally got the freedom, right? And to get the rid of the Britisher. So it was a power of that I would say the mastermind group जो गांधी जी ने create किया, that was for more than 200 million people. So how this mastermind group that we can create in our day-to-day life, and how we can get the success in our personal and professional life. I will talk about that the power of mastermind group in my next book club session. How it works, what are the benefits that you will get out of it, and how our book club is related to that. All those learnings I will share in my next topic. Thank you, Kiran.
Amazing, Charanjit. I'm waiting for that. How would you relate our book club with Mastermind? So I wanted to see
I
exactly.
just got to my mind when I was listening to Akshay, so I thought to share with you guys. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, awesome, amazing, yeah. Thank you so much, Charanjit. So I think I am really amazed with the kind of patience all of you have to listen for almost more than 90 minutes. Amazing, yeah, it's really amazing. And सब लोग excited है growth के लिए, and that is super exciting. I was so excited to speak, but then yeah, I believe Akshay did way better job than I would do, and he did all justice to the book club. So I'll just wanted to share what I'll be sharing in the next week. So last time I was sharing कि अगर आपके पास कोई idea है, if you have any idea to implement, or if you're in your job working with your colleague, or if in your family, maybe you have siblings, younger siblings or anyone, or wherever you're surrounded with people, if you're lazy like me, you always want to automate stuff. मैं इतना लेजी हूँ कि मुझे यार एलेक्सा की मदद चाहिए होती है कि लाइट ऑन करने के लिए एवरीथिंग आई टेल एलेक्सा स्विच ऑन द लाइट, एलेक्सा स्विच ऑफ द लाइट, I'll tell Google call this guy, Google. We are becoming so lazy in these days, but the smartness of being lazy is to implement stuff and make it run automatically. So I'll be talking about something so crucial. If you're in your corporate, if you're working on your business, the biggest thing, think about it. What makes Apple Apple? What does Google, Google makes Google? What does your company makes company? And what does your family makes family? The answer is only one word, is people. People makes company, people makes brand, then brand creates pull, and because of brand you all buy iPhones. Simple as that. So how to build brand such a way that you can create an automated system in your business or in your corporate or in your project anywhere in your life, such that you could slowly come out of it and develop people from the scratch. So I'll be talking about something pretty amazing. It's the quote says it all. The test of your leadership is not what happens when you are there, but what happens when you are not there. And the last time when I was talking about level 1, level 2, level 3 leadership, level 1 was positional, where permission and production. These three leadership is very common. You'll see from everywhere. In fact, corporate में production level leadership ज़्यादा है. But the most crucial and most important leadership level is people development. And this is where the main growth happens. Production level में आप add करते हो. You add people, you add your follower. But if you go to people development position leadership, you actually multiply, you exponentially grow. And I'll share something pretty amazing next week with my own experience. I'm not talking anything theoretical because I've applied each and everything, and I'm learning through it, and I'm learning through all of your experiences. So stay tuned for next week, because it is going to be amazing to learn something super new, and I hope you will apply in your life as well. Cool. So I think we are coming to the end of the session. So before we end, we have a little small culture, right? So who will take that masal today? कौन मेरी मदद करेगा summarize करने के लिए? आज मैं नहीं करूँगा. Who will take that charge? Come on. कोई तो आओ.
So I'll take that charge, Kiran. So today Bhushan talked about the 5 books which we are studying, and he also explained very well how it will help. Then Karthik talked about sticking to the basic idea of your company, and then Sahana talked about the land of I just forget that word. So
Promising land.
yeah, promising. Yeah, land of promises he spoke about. And then Bhaskar talked about from the
How
book
to
from
influence investors.
yeah,
How to influence investors.
yeah. And then we learn about how to take the decision. That was amazing session by Akshay. So that is what. And also we learn about the landmines of startup from Revati.
Yeah.
That is what I remember.
Okay, perfect. So Prakash did almost half the job. I think Jiju also want to speak. Jiju, you can also summarize whatever you remember, the rest of the speakers.
Yeah. So image from Revati, it was how different as a technical person we have different myths about business and how the myths were busted. And Akshay took important points which is important in our life is taking decisions and taking corrective decisions whenever we take a wrong decision and in a timely manner. And leadership teaser by you, and also the Power of Mastermind teaser. So these are upcoming.
What did Prakash
can
say?
add more.
प्रकाश ने क्या बोला?
Prakash.
कौन ऐड करेगा? Quickly. What did Prakash spoke? Prakash, Sanket. Who will add it? Quick. कौन ऐड करेगा? याद नहीं है किसी को भी? प्रकाश ने इतने मुश्किल से मेहनत करके सबका बताया यार, आप उसी का नहीं बताओगे? रोहित ने क्या बताया? रोहित का भी बताओ यार.
Rohit spoke on 5th chapter, how rich invent the money, and I think Sanjeev Reddy also he spoke on the home loan thing from Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
Sanjeev, no, Sanjeev, that was not Sanjeev, that was Shiva.
Shiva, yeah, sorry.
Okay, what else? दो लोग और हैं. संकेत.
प्रकाश का मुझे याद है शायद थोड़ा सा. Sorry.
रोहित बोलिए.
प्रकाश का मुझे याद है. I think he said about something. अगर आप if you think something, if you think you can do it, or if you think you can do it, you are right both ways. Something like that. So he said about your attitude basically. I mean, he put lots of effort on it. So I just summarize some of the gist of it. Like he said, I mean, your attitude determines like your attitude determines your success basically. Yeah,
it was about the 4 different ways to develop our big thinking and the right use of the words, positive words.
Awesome. So what did Sanket told and what did Girija do?
So Sanket told Kiran, I will tell about Sanket told the power of thoughts. Okay, 3 feet away, cold example.
Awesome.
Okay, and then Girija told about success. Success is not an event, so it is a decision kind of. We have to take decision. And Rohit told about how to identify the opportunity. We have to become bold and take the risk in our life. So that's what.
Amazing यार, you guys are super awesome. इतना अच्छा आपका sharp brain है. I'm sure सब कुछ चिपक गया होगा. Anyway, कार्तिक ने तो अपना काम कर दिया. He made sure that चीजें stick करें. And awesome यार. I think next week I feel next week I won't host यार. Next week Karthik and Thana will host. Let's see. I'll change the complete book club format. अब मैं host नहीं करूँगा. मैं भी थोड़ा participant बन के भी बोलूँगा. I want to feel how does it feel to become a participant and click right. हाथ खड़ा करके बात करना.
You miss sharing topics, no?
Pardon?
You miss sharing the topics, that's why.
Yeah, I want to be participant again. It's excited. It's so much of excitement is there. So I want to feel that side again. Cool. So thank you so much, guys, for attending. I think you've been very, very patient. Almost 2 hours we were there together, and we've been stretching. In a while, we'll keep a track on the time as well. Whenever we'll speak next time, we'll make sure we'll wind it up at least in 3 minutes in advance. At least we'll take 15 to 20 speakers, and we'll postpone to the next. In fact, today we had a couple of speakers we couldn't take. Priyanka also was there to speak, but due to shortage of time, we could not take. So thank you so much for supporting for that. And any feedback if you have, do share with us. Personally, we'll definitely take it and implement few things. And if you have anything else to speak or